Hey everyone, this is Hypo Allen. Welcome back to more Let's Play Kirby's Dream Land 3. In the last episode, we finished off Ripple Field, and in this episode, we'll be starting Level 3, Sand Canyon. And I have to say, that is probably, without a doubt, my favorite cutscene in the entire game. So, we're starting off with first stage. This is Shiitake-over stage, and basically, this pretty much bends the rules of Kirby's Dream Land 3 where I said, don't step on flowers. In this one, you have to step on all the flowers, but don't step on the mushrooms, because the mushrooms have to just take over the canyon. They can't have any freaking flowers. It's a Shiitake-over, if you will, you know? So, oh, please tell me I did not hit the mushroom. Okay, good, it's still there, alright. So yeah, basically mushrooms are never here to, they're just here to take over. Like, I'll give you a good example. There is an ant. I don't know any of you who know the kind of like, for those of you who are familiar with Pokemon, you know the Pokemon Parasect, right? Well, did you know that that is actually based on a real animal? There is actually a real live, like, mushroom that actually takes over the host ant. And it just zombifies them, like literally, they have the mushroom does all the thinking for them, instead of the actual ant is basically as good as dead. And here's another thing about the Pokedex entry for Parasect. Not only does the mushroom actually take over the Parasect itself, it actually spreads its spores to the host egg as well. So all its children have to suffer with the thing as well. Now, I do not remember. I actually had the sound turned on my TV, so I don't know if I got all of them or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the very first for doing the objective anyway. Just step on all the flowers and don't step on any of the mushrooms. So, with that cutscene in mind, this is actually a good time to show this off. This is Gooey. This is another returning partner from Kirby's Dream Land 2. For those of you who didn't know, this game actually has a two-player function as well, where the second player plays as Gooey. And so, pretty much, as Gooey, you can just eat enemies, kind of like Kirby. You can even gain power-ups as well, I believe. And the only downside is that if you're playing one player, it takes away one of your health points. And so, he was also He also was returning from Kirby's Dream Land 2 as well, but he was actually he's another one of those rare people to find, and where you have to beat mini bosses and get your friends out of the sacks and whatnot. But I don't remember if he actually did anything in Kirby's Dream Land 2. I think it was just there. It's actually been quite a while since I've played Kirby's Dream Land 2, and I might actually go back and play that. And here's just a top point that just something I kind of want to talk about. I was going back and editing the second episode of Kirby's Dream Land 3, and I kind of noticed something that I say actually quite a bit. And I feel like that's just something that I want to just improve on, because I don't think that's... I almost just said it again. I don't think that's necessary. That's actually necessary, because I felt like I just said it a lot, and I just want to know, because I know a lot of you who are subscribed to me right now also do LPs. I just want to know, are there like any crutch words that you noticed, like in editing, that you say a lot? I think mine are actually and like, because I feel like those words are the most dominant. I feel like, I just said it again, I believe that if I just admit it, I believe I'll actually improve on it. Like, I'll actually notice it. I won't do it as much. Also, here's another cool thing about these enemies right here, these cavemen. If you try and shoot any type of projectile at you, like so, actually let me just use this as an example. So if you try and shoot like a star or something at them, they'll bat it right back. Unless you suck up 2 or more things at a time, they will just immediately just bat it right back at you. They remind me a lot of the baseball boys from Yoshi's Island. In that regard, even though there's no catcher, there's just batters and whatnot. I believe I don't think this level is particularly long. I think I said this last episode, is that my goal is that I'm not necessarily out for collectibles. I just want to finish this. I just want to finish this as fast as possible, because there really isn't that much interesting to talk about once you're done with the objective, because all that's really there is just collectibles and stuff. And here's one thing that you can collect, is these star pieces here. As always, sometimes they're behind blocks. For some reason they'll just only be 1, sometimes they'll be 2. Like, just, I don't know. I think it's kind of messing with my OCD pretty much. So, also these Terrans are, actually, I can't really say returning because Kirby 64 actually, came after this game, but this is where they first started. A lot of the enemies we see in Kirby's Dreamland 3 also made their return in Kirby 64, as well as these bouncies. I actually have kind of a funny story about the bouncies. So, I actually played Kirby Canvas Curse before I played Kirby's Dreamland 3, and for some reason, that game has a very interesting art style if you know. Oh hey, I actually did get them all, so that's good. So, originally, so if you look on, the bouncies have bows on their heads, and the way the lighting was in Kirby Canvas Curse, I originally thought that those were dragon wings, and they were just like something like out of Sid's room in Toy Story. That's kind of that's kind of the vibe I first got from the bouncies when I first saw them in Canvas Curse, because it's just something about the lighting it just made them look weird. So, starting off, this is Oba-chan's stage, and we'll be needing a broom power-up in here. So I'm just gonna try and grab a Kiki here, just so we have it. So we can get her here. It's actually kind of tough at times to get her. So I believe there is actually another opportunity to get another broom power. This is basically the only. I believe this is the only room to get. I just said there might be another opportunity. It could be. It might not be. I actually don't remember. But here's an interesting thing. I'll just be quiet for a minute. That song sound familiar to anybody? Yes, it is indeed a remix of Gourmet Race. Even though, I gotta say, personally, I'm more of a fan of the rendition they did in Nightmare in Dreamland, in the Fountain of Dreams stage in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Kind of just the more orchestrated kind of music. I guess I'm kind of more of a sucker for orchestrated versions of video game music, being a former band student, which I did. For those of you who don't know, I actually was in band from elementary to middle school, well, high school actually, where I actually did 2 years of tenor sax and then switched and did the remaining 6 years on baritone, which I would love to get back into it. I just haven't necessarily found the time to get back into practicing. Mostly because I'm too cheap to buy, or too lazy rather, to buy some freaking valve oil, which I might do. Like sometime later on. I don't know, maybe, because I really do want to get back to it. I did enjoy. Oh, so we did have another opportunity. These guys actually give the broom power up. So I believe the door is coming up pretty soon. So we'll just keep on running towards it. Yeah, here it is. So this is Oba-chan. As you can see, she's actually sweeping the room there, and that's actually what we need to do in order to complete this objective. In order to get the heart star, is that we actually need to sweep up all this dust that are in these 2 rooms, and here's the first one. There's also a random star piece in here if you want it. Just sweep that up. And then we just come out here, go through this door, and do the exact same thing, and also avoid that spider enemy, and there's also another star piece here. So sweep this up. And this, I believe this is the only way you can even do it, because I don't think well, they might. I can see if, like, if you could throw water on the dust and that could clear it away, maybe that would be another way to do it, but I just want to be I'd rather be safe than sorry and just go with the old broom power up and just sweep it up like normal. Now, I don't know what it is about this area, but I kind of get it kind of reminds me more of a hive rather than kind of like, I don't know what they were going for, maybe a sand castle. I think it's just the patterns in the background that kind of remind me of a hive, and yet no bee enemies to be found anywhere. That's just kind of surprising. Well, I guess not really surprising. I never imagined bees to be a desert animal unless there's some kind of like desert killer bees out there, which that would not surprise me at all. They were like giant desert freaking killer bees or something like that. So yeah, this is kind of a good time to just rush through the area, because this sand does nothing but hold you back, and sometimes they act like conveyor belts, because there are times where the sand is just like falling down a hill, and then it'll propel you forward as well. So just jump over here, I'm actually probably get rid of this broom power up because sometimes, like I said before, probably sometimes the best power up to have is no power up at all. There's also parts, star pieces up there and up there if you want them. I kind of like, I do like these Wall D kind of genie. I forget what the actual name of the enemy is. I think it's like Walpole or something like that. Alright, so I was saying before, I feel like the Wall Ds in this game, or rather in the Kirby series, kind of almost remind me of like what Shy Guys are in like the Yoshi's Island series. They're just like everywhere, and they just find so many ways to use the Wall Ds in this game. And with that, that's the end of the level. Also, I just realized, what am I talking about? There's lives to be had in this game, so I think I'm actually just go for one right now. Where is it? It's a little past the middle, so about right there. Got it. Okay. Then again, I could have just as easily gone for one of the star pieces, but oh well. Alright, so here is our third stage, the minigame stage, as is always the theme with every third level in this game. Now, this is the point in the game where the minigames start to get a little tough for me, as you'll see coming up. I think I'm gonna just grab this cutter ability because we haven't used it in a while. I believe we have coming up an animal partner room. I think I'm gonna just grab a partner just to show off a couple of the power-ups if we haven't seen them already, because there's plenty of combinations to be shown off in this game. In fact, I think this is just the way to go. Actually, there are partner rooms right here, so let's see who we got here. Got Choo Choo here in this room. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna show off Koo because we haven't seen him yet. So this is Koo the Owl. This is another returning animal friend from Kirby's Dreamland 2 as well. The last of the 3 or 4 if you want to count Gooey returning from Kirby's Dreamland 2. Koo is probably one of my favorites to use because he's really good for just rushing through some areas, especially if it's just on land or through the air as well. Because he's the most. Because unlike Pitch, he's actually a very vertical flyer because he'll actually tends to fly wherever you go. Now that I think about it, this actually might be a good or a bad depending on your play style. This game could be a good or bad idea to take Koo with you, but it's also good just to rush through this little area with all these thwomp-like things. I don't even want to call them creatures. They're more like obstacles, if anything, because they're not sentient or anything. They just drop. It's not like. Because you can tell that thwomps are sentient because they always wait for you to pass by before they drop. But this one, they just drop whether you're there or not. So, all right, I'm just past this crab here. This is an odd area for crabs to be in. It's not like I could see if they were like in Ripple Field because that's more of kind of a beach, watery area. But here they're just underground. They're like underground crabs. Actually, that might have been the best thing to do because Koo was being a little bit of a hindrance there. So we just go down even further. This level actually reminds me a lot of a couple levels in Neo Star kind of just mixed into one. So here are just nothing but a room full of Galbos just everywhere. So it's probably a good idea to grab one if you want to rush through. Unless I even decide to grab one and I just decide to fly over them anyway. Sometimes I just like to have a power up just to have a power up, honestly. Alright, so here is our minigame. This is Caramello, and basically what he does is he'll blow up a balloon just to kind of distract you. And basically, while he's blowing that up, there'll be a bunch of girls that'll flash faces at you, and you have to determine how many girls made a certain face that he wants. So that's that. So let me see what he has here. That's 4, I believe. Now, I'm usually good on the first 2. It's the third one that always messes me up because they flash up pretty quickly. Oh, that one actually wasn't that bad. That's 5 of them. Because remember, I was practicing this one. This is a level that gave me so much trouble that I couldn't nail the heart star. And I'm actually surprised I got that first try because I was actually expecting to have to be here for a while. So as long as I don't die, because I actually am on my last life, believe it or not, then this should be fine. Just blast through everything. You know, I never actually imagined a desert level to have lava underneath it. I could see if it was like a mountainous level, but not a rock level, to be honest. I mean, sand level, to be honest with you. But you know, I guess you know, eventually if you dig deep enough, then eventually you'll hit lava, I guess. So with that, that's that room. I really hope there's like a maximum tomato here pretty soon. Well, there are plenty of stars and plenty of propellers here. And a doppelganger Kirby that we can never get to for some reason. He's just there to be there. There's no reason. I don't think he even hurts you even if you can walk up to him, because I think there is a level coming up like way later on in the game where you can actually go up to him and like interact with him if you want to. I don't know why he would. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't give you a power-up. He doesn't attack you or anything. He just walks around all day. I think I'm gonna just grab the parasol ability just so I can just have an ability. Also, another thing you could do with parasol ability is that you're actually invincible if you just hold up the parasol. See, you could just have enemies just walk right into you and they'll just blow up. That's how weak these things are. Oh, that's the end of the level right there. Okay, that's it. And for completing Caramello's minigame, that nets us yet another heart star. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna just grab a maximum tomato. Alright, we got it. Alright, we'll be tackling the next level in the next episode. Until next time, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been HyperWallow. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.